but looking at the drafts, I never had a really good read on Klinks, to be honest, like how strong he can get, because he gets pretty strong early on. So yeah, I think both drafts look relatively strong to me.
Okay. Well, the final point I'll add is Vici. Team that likes to delay the game. Bloodseeker, great at lane cutting if you go for the Veil build that used to be so popular, and it's getting popular again. So who knows? Maybe they can play the game. But I'm gonna wait for that because I want to hear your final thoughts here, Effie. He gave me his. Is there any draft you favor?
I favor EG's draft a little bit more just because it does seem like they can run them over. This Bloodseeker pick, I have to see it properly to understand, but I don't see a clear rupture target. I guess maybe the ET, but like Klinks is going to stand there and shoot his burning arrows anyway, right? And he's going to do it on the roar, he's going to do it on the chains. We'll see how it goes. Well,
before we get into the game, we do have an exclusive interview with EG's coach, BuLba, and Frankie's on the sidelines to ask him the questions.
PMA for the main event.
I 不理解。
Thank you very much, Frankie. Yes, game one, it has just begun. We've got a brief pause. I'm sure it's only going to be a brief one. It's, of course, Evil Geniuses versus Vici Gaming. I'm OG Pixel here with Fogged.
Hello.
Fogged, what do you want to talk about first? What are you excited to see from these two teams?
Well, we've got Ori on Storm versus an Ember Spirit. I think anybody who watched yesterday saw how tough of a time Ori did have in the opposite of the matchup, where he was playing the Ember Spirit versus the GPK Storm.
Yes,
so I think Ori is probably feeling a little fired up. Probably he's like, you know what? I want to do it back. He's a master tier Storm, so that's got to be the most exciting thing for me. However, he is playing into an instant silence, also roots, so game could get a little bit difficult if he doesn't have a good start. But he should have a good start based off of that.
What's your thoughts really on the way that Vici Gaming wrap this up with the old 11 Bloodseeker coming in as the last pick in the draft?
It's definitely interesting. It's different from their usual. I was actually not expecting that at all. They usually tend to have old 11 on more of this type of team fighter. This is just a very different style draft for them, where it's a lot more fight heavy early on to allow to give space to Poyoyo. So yeah, just different approach. I do like EG's approach a bit more this time around, just because they do have this easy type of catch, and it's a very momentum-based lineup that they've gone for this time around.
No, for sure. And you like the sort of the choice of carry this game going with the Klinks. You feel this sort of fits the play style that EG's been rolling with?
Yep, they definitely really like the hero. Works well with the Beastmaster. The Death Pact, of course, too, is going to be utilized really well when we do have like the Helm of Dominator, Overlord, etc. picked up. He's going to be able to use that really nicely. And I think Effie touched on it a bit at the end there, is you can just hold your ground. I know the Bloodseeker was picked after it, but they've got Chains, they've got Roar. So if you can just hold your ground and get that off, it's nice. And the lane is, I feel like this lane might be a bit tough for 11, even though he's got so much sustain that comes out as the Bloodseeker. He's versus ET, and this hero's just been so strong whenever you have.
Yeah, I mean, how much you feel PYW is going to be able to do to hold back ET? How safe can he keep old 11 up here?
He probably can, because you have the double stuns that you're going to be able to play around later on when you get Hex. So he should have a decent time at least, but I think it's still going to be a little. He's going to like have a decent time to at least protect him from dying, but I still think old 11 won't get much last hits up here.
Oh, let's see. I was getting pushing the wave underneath the tower here.
I'm honestly just staring at mid, because like Ori, he has to make up for yesterday. It feels like he had a bit of a rough series after that first game.
Oh, easy courier here.
Nice grab. That was the salve. Do they have any extra region? Okay, PYW did bring a salve out. They're gonna need to use it soon. We're just watching the poke. Look at old 11. He's getting constantly hit from those searing arrows, hit from the Astral Spirit, and just walk down. He's gonna get salved up and have to hide himself for a moment.
Mid lane, pretty even at the moment. 8 for 1, 7 for 1.
I wonder how well they're going to be able to secure Poyoyo's farm as well. It's a Monkey King, so traditionally the Monkey Kings, we'll watch PYW eat a couple hits. He should be okay.
Yeah, it's going to take 2 more. And he's got the Dukes hit round the trees. Fly won't be able to find him.
But yeah, they picked a pretty greedy safe lane, it feels like to me. Monkey King, usually versus these melee heroes, he thrives, like Beastmaster. But Beastmaster plus a ranged hero is actually really strong versus this Monkey King Medusa lane. So I think securing the farm for Poyoyo could be a little difficult as the levels do start coming out for crit. Because you can't trade. That's the problem with Monkey King. Versus these ranged heroes, you get on top of them with Trident, you have to commit for a kill, but trading is just not really much of an option.
And with sort of Beastmaster, the hero in general, why is it that I feel like we just didn't see this hero as much as we thought we would see it coming into the tournament?
Ori taking a hit there. I think it's just a very player-specific hero, and also it's not this big team fighter. I think TI tends to just bring more team fight than any other tournament, so he's just different. He's a pusher. He's always going to be good with the itemization, especially when Dominator's popular, but you're not a massive team fighter. You're all about like pressing your advantage and taking objectives. Already seeing an early rotation. Crit hanging around the mid lane. Abed is having a pretty damn good time. He's played really nicely around his Sleight of Fists with his Flame Guard and dodged out, I think, 2 or 3 remnants to keep it active. And it's pressuring Ori. And we do see the early point in chains picked up on Abed. So it could look to set up for early kills with those crit moves. Arteezy does tank a Blood Right, a big one.
Yeah, how's he doing for regen? He's just got the stick on him as Fly. So now got that south back out, he does. Yeah. So Arteezy will be topped up. Some definite pressure. I mean, old 11, for the struggles you thought he may have up here, he's farming pretty darn well.
Yeah, he's definitely recovered really nicely.
Denied.
Killing that courier, I think, was a big deal too, because Fly has no regen, so that he can't like trade as effectively. So they are able to pressure Arteezy a little bit more. And bottom too, I mean, DY's doing pretty good work. Poyoyo is up to that 17 last hits. I think he secured 1 or 2 boars as well. So whenever you can kill even 1 boar in the lane, it always feels great. That extra big burst of XP. Are seeing the runes being checked out. DY camping bottom. Abed able to get the 1 rune. DY will look to protect this one for Ori. But Abed's coming out even in the matchup, and we saw, of course, how GPK, he really handled Ori in that one. But as we know, Abed very comfortable in this matchup. He knows exactly how to play around those slight dodges versus the remnants to keep Flame Guard active.
I mean, all things said and done, out of all 3 lanes, all cores are having a fine time. Nobody's getting bullied completely. First blood will finally fall on the top lane. And they won't look to die for Arteezy. Old 11 able to beat him back. So these kills are ready. They can get some level advantage on the Bloodseeker. Setup is there. Arteezy, he's in trouble. He's going to get taken down. PYW finding him. And I guess Arteezy just not expecting PYW to lead him through the trees and the burst to be there from the setup into the Blood Right, but it was. That's Arteezy out there. I mean, that's huge. That's blowing that top lane wide open.
They're playing the lane just like really well. PYW is perfectly in position every single time. Mid, we see that crit rotation. PYW is coming in to help.
So they get the kill. PYW won't be able to set up anything on his own. So EG at least able to make something happen elsewhere whilst the top lane starts to fall apart.
Abed sees a small camp stack. He also identifies that there's vision on the high ground there. Actually, cool play there by Abed, dragging the wave to the left so he knows there's an obs guard there. It's only there for 10 more seconds, so unlikely they'll get the D ward. But now mid, PYW shows his face.
Yeah, Abed's just going to jump straight away. He's got the 6 and he uses it immediately. And he goes with the remnants, the follow-up burst from crits enough. Making sure only used the couple there as well. He's still got the remnant to reset and return back to the lane.
And immediately double checking runes. Fly checks top rune. They have crit double stacking ancients to make sure that the Kingslayer is able to catch up after this little of a tough start in the laning phase. And they will be able to get that illusion rune top. Abed also steals the small camp stack that we were mentioning from before. Really looking to shut down Ori. They look like they're bringing both supports though now. Vici, this is a very common move we've talked about. I know at Animajor people were really harping on how much Vici did do their double support movements around that 6-minute mark to help out Ori. I think EG's kind of expecting that. They're starting to make their move away. They're leaving Arteezy up top and just making the moves around with crit and with Fly toward bottom.
I mean, top Arteezy's got to be careful. PYW's coming over again. 6 is about to be there on old 11. If they get any sort of setup onto Arteezy here on his own, he's not going to stand a chance. Bottom lane. Trying to get in with the aggression, EG. 2 supports backing up iceiceice, but Poyoyo keeps himself firing it back. We'll see the attempt up top, but not quite able to go there. Old 11 didn't quite have that level 6 here. Still waiting on it in a creep or two.
They've slowed down Arteezy so much. We've seen a lot of times with these Clinks, they just rush the Maelstrom without even boots. He has to go boots in this matchup just because he's getting run down. And yeah, Old 11 is gonna be 6 now.
Yeah.
With treads, with Urn, very strong.
I mean, can Arteezy even stay up here on his own now? It seems it's so dangerous.
Perhaps waiting for them to maybe overcommit, checking if Abed has a TP, then they'll probably look for a counter gank play. Doesn't want to just straight up abandon the lane. They are seeing the rotation though. They have this ward that Fly did place before he left the lane.
Yeah, he's backing off.
Yeah.
Arteezy knows he can't stay up here any longer.
They already have a jungle ward though placed for him, so they're gonna be able to watch him if he ever does farm these camps inside their safe triangle. Abed though, since he sees the storm move top, immediately starts pressing onto mid, looking to go for some tower damage. And they will send Poyoyo to the mid lane. So again, both of these safe laners abandoning their lanes.
Yeah, and Poyoyo, as the Medusa, can sort of sit around and farm this mid area of the map without any threat from EG's heroes?
Yeah, they've got the counter gank, same thing, right? Like Ori, he walked top, he didn't make the teleport, so he didn't have to use his teleport. Same thing for Old 11, they both have TPs available. If Poyoyo gets gone on, I mean, he's priority #1. They'll double TP to protect him. So laning phase, first 8 minutes, Vici, about 1k gold up because of that top lane being so successful, 900 ahead of the Clinks on that Bloodseeker.
The difference in the carry here for Cyril so far, with the ease of lane they had to start things off with. Arteezy gonna have to do a little bit more of a recovery than Poyoyo.
And also, Vici takes the first tower. Usually the team with Beastmaster is the ones who end up getting that first one, but EG will quickly catch back up as bottom will get sieged.
I see Vici as well. They're keeping the 3 heroes up around this tier 2. Again, just Arteezy having to play so cautiously. He's been completely left on his own on this half of the map by the rest of his team, with EG looking for these sort of objectives. So yeah, just such a scary game for Arteezy in these early stages.
It's great prioritization coming out from Vici, just keeping everything up there top, making sure that Poyoyo has all the space in the world. EG does have, of course, that recovery method being built up. We see the stacks, triple ancient, double hard camp. So he will be able to farm that. Once he gets his Maelstrom, of course, we've seen this time and time again, the burning barrage on it, so.
I mean, what's the plan here for EG? How do they free this game up a bit more for Arteezy, getting this space secured?
Well, as long as he's not getting invaded into his triangle, I think it's now okay. Like, everything's starting to stabilize for them. They're going to start like looking to rotate and collapse on mid with iceiceice soon. And already they have pretty deep vision as well. Both teams actually with kind of similar style of vision this game. PYW looking for the smoke up. They're taking Ori bottom.
So what sort of setup they can get? DY scanning things out, but Abed knows he's watching.
They're watching Abed though. Look at this early ward they placed on the Tinker spot.
Ooh, a lovely little dodge there from Abed, as he avoids death. Absolutely, he gets caught by one of those stuns. He is gone.
He has a regen too, so he's back all the way up to full. And walking into their jungle is a little scary for the supports. Walking into a Beastmaster with all these creeps. Look at PYW getting slowed down.
EG, they're just charging straight for the line. They'll get him. Jump over with the remnant. PYW's gone. They might want to try for more underneath the tier 2. DY and Ori are down here.
They're thinking about it.
They have Roar at the ready from iceiceice if he wants to lead in. Quick jump from Abed over to the side. It's going to be okay here. Ori not wanting to go for the grab. No, there's a lot of EG around.
He slighted and quelling bladed the tree during the slight to cut DY. I mean, it doesn't kill him, but it was a little bit of fancy footwork.
I was going to say, just sort of saying, hey, I'm going to do this. Watch out, DY.
I know where you are.
Yeah. Well, there we go. We've got to look out for those plays coming out again from Abed.
Yeah, DY has to be very careful since he's playing versus the Beastmaster. That's another reason why EG did pick it, since that Monkey King was picked so early on. He's going to always be able to scout out inside the trees there for Abed to do that. Both teams just getting a lot of farm, though. Just chilling back. Poyoyo must be quite happy, just sitting inside the triangle. Arteezy not doing nearly as well as the Medusa. Already level 9 on Poyoyo. Arteezy's only level 7.
Yeah, nice. Poyoyo's having a great time. And the fact that Old 11's getting so much as well. At this stage of the game, Vici Gaming very much having 2 carries almost with Old 11 farming as well as he has done from that off lane.
Arteezy's game might be pretty difficult. Like, Old 11's just going to Atos him, just blood right full commit onto him inside most of the team fights, I feel. He really almost has Atos. It's about to be done. That's when we'll probably see the big action kicked off from Vici, but they might look to anyway fight around mid tower since CG is collapsing with that Beastmaster.
Let's see what they want to do about this Vici Gaming TP coming over from Old 11. He's ready to join the crew here. That's Vici Gaming. Everybody apart from DY right now around this mid lane. The tier 1 falling slowly. Poyoyo is going to start to try and clear it out.
Haven't shown the blood right. That's their best way to wave clear besides the Medusa snake. We'll stop the push though with that snake, of course, and EG's gonna smoke. Look to catch around the ancient side. I think they're recognizing that, you know, it's like Arteezy's not able to farm the ancients because he doesn't have Maelstrom, and Poyoyo is just freely farming ancients at every single one of these camps, so they have to slow him down.
They've got to do something, and they have got good kill potential with the Mystic Flare. Ancient.
I'm over here. Your place. Over here now. Comforting wound of the champion snared in fire. Nice try. Yeah.
Let's see here. What's next here? We're back. Don't know, ladies and gentlemen, if you lost us, but we are back. Not quite sure what happened there. Maybe you can still hear us. And we couldn't hear one another. Hopefully it's all good. Anyway, bit of a brawl there between the two of them. Could have got, definitely got a bit messier, that.
Yep, I think EG's probably pretty satisfied. They got Poyoyo. It allows Arteezy to sit back, catch back up. He's got Maelstrom. He's starting to work on those Ancients, as we were mentioning, which is a quad stack. So that should accelerate him almost all the way back up. He's still going to be slightly behind the Medusa, but catching up significantly in levels because of that pickoff. EG probably wanted to get a little more, like pushing forward for that tower, but the positioning there from DY's ult just kind of did dissuade them from pushing forward. And also, I believe it is the Bloodseeker that ends up surviving through all of it, too, because he was dropped so low.
It was that last bit of damage for chasing him for crit. But able to actually get back and reset old LaNm. They're going to try and jump for him in the mid. They got the chain set up. Mystic Flare comes crashing down this time. More than enough damage from EG. They get that set up into the ult from crit. And not many heroes are going to stand a chance at this stage of the game. So much damage at this point.
And immediately starting to siege the tower. Starting to crawl their way back into this game. Vici still looking to split up around the map, just looking to get this. I mean, they are playing much more of a greedy lineup with this Medusa, Storm, and Bloodseeker chorus. Until they do have that, pretty much the Atos on the Bloodseeker, it's a lot harder for them to just force this action, unlike EG, where their action just needs to come from a slight chains, and then that's a setup for the Skywrath every single time. As we are seeing that 60% win probability from these last few moments. And EG, with that mid tower taken out, they can start accessing into the Ancients and denying this away from the Medusa as well.
Yeah, backing off from the mid here as well. 15 minutes in, just 3 to 5.
PYW has been quietly farming the top lane for a very long time. He is 600 gold from Blink Dagger. Should have a pretty decent timing on that one.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty huge. It's all about the catch for both these squads. The amount of follow-up.
EG just has clear, like look at this ward, they just completely sees all of Vici walking through, even the ward up on the high ground right above there too. It's going to see them be walking even more so through, so clear information right now for EG of what they want to do with their next move. And Abed's invis, or sorry, smoked up.
Yeah, ready for that chain setup.
And they even had like a Hawk even as well on top of old 11.
So they want to go for that. They know that how much is standing around old 11 here.
They just need the Skywrath in range with the chains. To see Poyoyo picking up his Manta, so he's got much more survivability versus that chains combo. He's gonna always be able to disengage with it, so understood why he's gone for this item build this time around rather than we saw the S and Y earlier. Needs a way to be able to disengage from the Ancient Seal and those chains. And now up to 1k gold lead for EG. Arteezy's getting all the space in the world. Just sit back while his team pressures the Ancient side. Vici might have to just smoke and potentially just try to clear their Ancients because Poyoyo's getting a lot of farm denied away from him.
EG dealt perfectly with the way that Vici were able to gain that lead in the first sort of 12 minutes or so of this. Addressing the problems directly, and now Vici Gaming, they're the ones that have got to try and rectify the state of the map right now, of EG taking control.
Look to clean up the creeps. 2 Boars down. Will they get the Centaur? They won't. Slow-paced game though, Owen. 3 to 5, 1640.
Stupendous.
I mean, who sort of benefits from it the most? Do you just sort of look at the Medusa and feel that Vici Gaming are going to be the more comfortable with this sort of slow down in action, or
You know
VG
me.
always got the tools?
You know me. There's an ET on one side.
That's true, the ET. And I mean,
Natural order
help
is
but agree.
a pretty good mechanic.
yep.
And Arteezy, he's gotten total time to catch back up. He's still behind, as we say, versus that Medusa, but so many recovery points. And the game for Ori is difficult. He's going to be going for the Orchid build since you pretty much have to on these Storm Spirits, but a lot of different things that can just trip him up. The instant silence, the chains, these two things are just easy. It's either one of them just catching onto him and he's just likely dead.
And, you know, no sort of ways to bail him out either. It's not like Vici Gaming have any sort of save. And we're just going to bail Ori out. He gets caught, he's dead, absolutely.
Exactly, yeah. iceiceice already has the Helm of the Overlord too, and looks like they're going to find another kill with that. Just amazing vision that they have, really. Like, EG's just constantly able to play around this because they have all these deep wards down. They have the Hawk that can play around too, and Vici just doesn't seem like to be able to fight back.
No, not at all.
With a Beastmaster lineup, we're getting even one kill.
Yeah. Straight to the Roshan. And yeah, with that continued vision around it, they're going to have any sort of information on Vici Gaming approaching immediately.
It's just dead too fast. Their actual best teamfight hero is the Monkey King in this game until Deuce starts to feel like she can get involved. So a free one for EG. Very crisp macro movements.
That's just solid stuff. They're just controlling this triangle completely.
Yep.
They're going to try and fight Vici. They're going to go with the zip and straight away, but then the counterplay, Ori is just gone. Abed, they'll lose the Aegis, but they don't care about the CG. They're more than happy with this sort of a trade, as old 11 also taken down on the front of it all. Now the chase comes out from Abed. Straight over towards the Deuce, and Poyoyo will be able to remove the chains with the Manta, but they're still trying to dive in onto him over to the side. The tree is cut, DY hits the ground. You've got Abed just diving into the base, past the tier 3s, chains it back up. He's going to be able to kill the Medusa. Poyoyo's dead. Get back out, and then DY cut down as well by Crit. As EG, I mean, it's
picture perfect,
just,
really.
I mean, what did Vici Gaming do? It was sort of a slow start, and then as soon as they lost that triangle to EG, they lose the Roche, they lose the team fights, and now this sort of a hit where pretty much the entire team goes down. I mean, EG's just hitting their timings, and Vici Gaming, they're getting shaken up real bad.
I mean, Crit already has an Atos. So that offlane Bloodseeker, who ideally wanted to get some type of pickoffs off, hasn't even gotten an opportunity, it feels like, to use Rupture, to even use his Atos. And as we mentioned, Ori, that was a big risk. Dead. He's just dead every time if he commits like that. He needs to have somebody else start the fights.
I mean, he needs to have his next item, really.
He just got the Orchid.
But I mean, as you said, though, it's just such a hard game to play with the Orchid alone. You've got nothing to protect yourself.
Yeah.
EG is absolutely going to catch you. You can only go in and silence one hero.
He has to have the bodies going for him first. Like, DY has to throw his life away, or Bloodseeker has to just throw his life away so that the Storm, so Ori can actually get to play his hero in these lanes, or in these team fights, because he's get chains, get silenced every single time he's dead.
Yeah, I know. Look at this as well. EG no stopping, straight round to the bottom lane.
And look at Abed too. He's had the Javelin locked the whole time for that Maelstrom, and he's just going straight for BKB. They might just end this game really early on.
Absolutely. I mean, with the push potential that the Beastmaster can help them with, they have every means to take a sort of early high ground. They take one more fight against Vici like that one just now outside of the base and are able to wipe them. You know, these tier 3s of Vici Game are going to get focused very early on in this game.
And they're even just pushing bottom. Like, they have to address this on the side of Vici because of how big the Beastmaster is. They're always going to have to send a hero to react. And because of this, now look at EG. They're
look at this wraparound. I don't know if Vici Game is going to be ready for EG coming from this angle.
They're trying to bail out. They know.
Old 11. He will manage to TP out. PYW and DY, they are going to fight back. Zippo, but
he's just gone.
He just disappears.
Did he even get it disabled? I think he just died to the sheer damage.
It was just the raw damage. He goes and he's just gone.
That's not even with everybody, too. iceiceice was still just lingering around the mid lane. They kill the Skywrath, but they lose 3 big ones.
I mean, everything continuing to plan here for EG.
It really has just been picture-perfect planning for them. Yep. After those lanes didn't go perfect for them, they, like you said, invading the triangle, denying that away from the Medusa seems like a recipe for success, as they have just so much dominance now. 2 tier 2s taken out so early on. Now just going for top as well, and the control continues.
It's going to be another tier 2 soon. Yeah. I mean, if they keep this pushing and turn just the tier 1 into a tier 2 as well, I feel like this has got to be one of the games where all tier 2s have gone down the fastest if EG keep this up.
I agree.
This is some insane push in early game here from Evil Geniuses. Vici Gaming, they've got to regroup, gather themselves, and think about how they're going to hold it in any sort of team fight. They're going to try another move here. Ori, it's going to go straight over towards Fly, but Fly's pretty tanky here. The blood right will come out, but Fly's still alive. There's silence story. Ori's gone. DY as well. The damage comes through from Arteezy as old 11 hits the deck. Fly will fall for now. Poyoyo surrounded by EG. PYW will attempt to help out, but he can't keep his Medusa alive. Poyoyo falls. Is they going to call it 22 minutes in? Evil Geniuses just destroyed Vici Game and they just slammed them out the way. This was a complete beatdown, and EG, I mean, this is the cleanest Dota they've brought out so far. Yeah. It was picture perfect. They
10 minutes
ticked
of
all the
perfection.
boxes.
Wow. Like actual 10 minutes of perfection, right?